Hey everybody, it's Katie from Ray & Company Face Painting and Body Art and the Ray & Co Insiders channel. In this video, we are going to be doing an Easter butterfly. So I will pull over some of the supplies that we're going to be using today so that you can get a good sort of sense of what we'll be using. Pull over some brushes. And that way you have kind of a good sense of what we'll be using today. Let's see, do I need anything else? Got some white and some black over here. All right, let me just check. Yep, I think that's it. All right, so one of the supplies that I'll be using today is this teardrop sponge. These are by Always Wicked Art, and I really love these teardrop sponges because they are in a really convenient shape for butterfly wings. So anyway, we'll be using one of those today. Set that aside. In terms of paint, I have some extra white and black here, in addition to a larger palette over here. And so for my white and my black, I will be using Tag Regular White and Tag Regular Black today. So we'll set those aside. I have a rainbow cake here. It's often called like a split cake. The smaller ones are called one strokes. So this split cake is called Egg Drop, the Egg Drop Rainbow Cake, and this is by Silly Farm Supplies, which you can pick up at sillyfarm.com. So that's a real pretty soft rainbow. I just have a mister bottle here to activate some paint. So grab a couple of these if you're starting your kit. And then in terms of brushes, I'm actually not using 4 brushes today. So this is a number 2 round by Blazin brush, but I was just using that to outline some eyelashes here just to finish off that design. So I'll set that aside. So actually we're using 3 brushes today. The one of these is the 1/4 inch Dagger by Blazin brush. So this is a really pretty, really cool brush that I love using. And then I'm going to be using the Paint Pal Pretty Petal brush. And finally, I'm going to be using the Luxe Swirl 3 by Paint Pal as well. So, anyway, let's get started. Oh, I have some other paints over here as well. I have a larger selection of solid colors over here, and it's kind of a mix of different brands. But if you are interested in starting your own face painting kit and learning what products to buy and stuff like that, you can head over to my website at rayfaceart.com/learn and pick up this How to Build Your First Face Painting Starter Kit guide. I spent a good amount of time on this trying to think of people who, had different, budget levels and stuff like that. So there's 4 different budget levels in here in terms of getting started with some quality face paint supplies. And then off camera, I do have some water and some baby wipes just to erase mistakes and things like that if we need to. All right, let's get started. I already have one of the teardrop sponges kind of preloaded. So off camera, I am gonna go ahead and spritz this just so I don't get my board wet. I'm gonna give this 2 or 3 mists off camera, and then we will come back and start doing the design. And then I'll show you how I load this as well. So I'm going to give it 2 more. And so essentially what you do is you just drag your sponge on here to load it with the color. Kind of like a stamp pad, but more of a dragging motion than a tapping. Okay, and so what I'm looking for is kind of a drier consistency, which I've got, and I'm going to go ahead and start getting these teardrops going. So I'm going to paint over the eye for right now. Obviously the kiddo's eyes would be closed, but on these practice boards I can't have them close their eyes, so we will just tap this on here. Now, when I'm working on my practice boards, I will say sometimes these designs take a little bit longer than when I'm doing them on the job, because sometimes it's hard to get the consistency right with the sponging on the practice board. So just because you don't want to get it too wet, it takes forever to dry then. So I'm just going to load up a little bit more. And then I'm going to pinch my sponge kind of like this to where the point kind of comes down. I'm going to pinch it like this. And I'm just trying to use the heel of the sponge. So I just want to put a little splash of color right here on the cheeks. When I first started doing butterflies, I feel like I made them a little bit too big. So now I'm, trying to be more conscious as I go along with, just not making the butterflies, super big. So, all right, so we'll clean this up a little bit later, but we're gonna go ahead and let's see, what do I want to do next? I think I want to grab my dagger brush. So this, again, is the 1/4 inch dagger brush by Blazin brush, and I have a really pretty sort of dark purple, and I believe that this one is by Fab. So I'm just going to load up this dagger, and then I'm going to switch my angle here. So the cool thing about these dagger brushes is that you can make long strokes, long thin strokes, and then if you hold it kind of at an angle, you can go to the side and bring it down for a nice thin line. Okay, and then I'm just going to make another little stroke there. And we'll go back over that again. And I'm at a really awkward angle here, guys, for working around the camera. But you guys get the idea. All right, let's see. See if we can make this work. All right. So, and one more down over here. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and mirror this on the other side. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Remember that butterflies and flowers and stuff are all organic things, so don't get too hung up on perfection, which is hard for me to say because I'm actually a perfectionist. But okay, so there we go. We've got the wings kind of blocked out. Now down here, to make this sort of little teardrop with the line, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go like this. Oops, no, how did I do it? I went like this and like that. So I just kind of pressed my brush that way and then around, if that makes any sense. Pay no attention to that one. That's the wrong way to do it. But again, we just kind of go, let's see if you can see it. Like this, and then drag. And you see these nice, crisp, thin lines that you can make with this dagger brush. It's super cool. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come in here and we're just gonna kind of make a small little, my focal point is, right around this neighborhood. So I'm just gonna try to point anything, like any of the flow of my lines are gonna kind of go towards that as a rule of thumb. All right, so we'll just do that again, just like that. And we'll do one over here as well, the opposite way. Perfect. Okay, so we are done with the purple for right now, and then we're going to go ahead and move into the number 3 swirl. So it's just a round brush, and then I'm going to go ahead and get some of my tag regular white, and I'm going to do some little, I'm going to do like a swirl there, something like that, just a very light little, and something like this, and like that. And then you could always add some here as well, just for some extra interest. I didn't do that on the other one, but that's something that we can add and see if we like it or not. Just experiment with it. I'll do that one more time on this side. Boop. All right, I'm going to go ahead and at that same time, I know I'm going to need some dots down. I did some dots sort of on the nose, so I'm going to just take care of that right now. So cover up that little purple one that I did. So do some dots there. And we'll do some dots over here as well. If you're new to line work and dots, so one of the things that you can do is you activate your paint and you load your brush up really good, gently, but you kind of roll off the paint and you'll get a little puddle, and then that way you have sort of a little puddle of drip, I guess. I don't know, what am I trying to say? It's kind of like a drip that you can work with on, it's like a ballpoint pen. You know, you have like a little ball of paint on the end of your brush. Does that make any sense? Okay, so we're going to do it again. And just put more pressure on the brush if you want a bigger dot. Just like that. And I think I put some dots down here on the other one, so we'll do that here as well. All right, so finally, I'm going to go ahead and grab that Paint Pal Pretty Petal brush, and I'm going to load this guy up really good up to almost up to the ferrule, or up to the ferrule. Let's see. I might need to activate that. I'll paint a little bit more, but we'll see if this works. And then I'm going to go pick up some yellow. And so what I'm doing is I'm double loading this brush. So this is called a double dip flower petal. And I'm just loading up the tip of the brush. So I don't know if you can see that, but maybe if I can hold it up here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm just kind of loading up the tip of the brush with a little bit of a yellow. And then it would make a petal look kind of like that. It might be a little bit too close to the light, but all right, let's go back over to our face and show you what we're going to do there. So essentially what we're going to do is we have the yellow towards the center, and we're just going to simply press down. We're going to do a 5-petal flower. Just like that. And then while we have it loaded still, we're just going to come in here. Can you tell that I'm at an awkward angle? Okay, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to come over here and do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. We'll sneak a 5th one in over here, just to balance it out just a little bit. Okay, so I'll put that aside for a second. I'm going to go ahead and grab that number 3 round again, and this is still loaded with some white. So I didn't rinse it out because I knew I'd be needing a little bit of extra white. And so for the last little detail, all we're going to do is, this is not quite dry, but I don't know if it'll show up, but we're just going to put some dots in there. And then finally, we're just going to clean it up. So this is a fun little Easter design. If you're, not doing a tutorial, I think this could probably take somewhere between, I don't know, without practicing it, without having it in muscle memory, I guess I would say that this is probably a 4 to 5 minute design or 3 to 4 minute design, somewhere in that neighborhood. And there are some elements on there that you could take off. You certainly wouldn't have to go back and put those extra little dots in there and things like that. So that's just extra, extra stuff. So some of the ways that you could finish off this design as well is you could get some of this really awesome pixie paint, it's called. I don't know if you guys can see this. We got a little bit of a glare, but this one is called Purple Rain. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's super pretty. Let's see if I can grab a brush here and oops, I just dropped one. Pick some of it out for you and show you what it looks like on the skin. So I don't know if you guys can see that. We got some light going on, but it's just a super pretty pastel kind of lavender mix of glitters. We got some holographic in there, and then the lavender. And so we've got some stars and some big hex pieces in there as well. And then certainly you could use, I'm all thumbs today, certainly you could use some loose glitter. This would be 2 great colors. So these are some Mama Clown glitter that you can get in at sillyfarm.com in a kind of a lavender color, and I can't remember what this is called, but I don't know if I have the sticker on it still, but it's kind of a hot pink, and so both of these are super pretty. So that's those are a couple of extra little products that you could sort of level up this design with. That would make it just look really great. And if you don't have that, no big deal. Just having some white holographic translucent cosmetic glitter is really an all-purpose glitter that will make things look really awesome. So anyway, guys, that's it for the tutorial today. So I hope you enjoyed it. And again, if you are looking to build your own kit, you can pick up this guide over at rayfaceart.com/learn. And occasionally I post stuff on Instagram as well. So if you want to come visit me over there, you can do that as well. And I will catch you on the next tutorial, guys. All right, take care.